are live! We are live! Let's go! Let's go! Welcome to Speculation Sunday on a Sunday. We got Just As Danny in the house. Danny, how are you doing, my friend? How are you doing?
I'm good. We have some big news to talk about. That's kind of not new news anymore, but something that we haven't been able to discuss on the show in regards to Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. And I've been excited to kind of just talk back and forth with you on that topic. So
It's very important.
hopefully we start right on Disneyland this time around.
Yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere.
For FanFest nights, we finally got what we were asking for last time we were on the show. So
we got Galaxy's Edge combo, FanFest combo, and then we'll see where things take us. That's kind of the meat and potatoes of what we're going to talk about today. But welcome, everybody. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I know there's been a lot of wild football today. It was the Rams pulling off an overtime win against the Bears. Caleb Williams choking. But I'm happy. I'm not a Rams fan at all, but I'm just happy a California team is, still in the playoffs. Whoever's from California, I root for. I'm all about the California team. What do we got here? Just one question for when you Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift open. Which row of the car are you going to sit in? I would like to be in the front. I'd like to be in any of the seats. They're all going to they're all going to be synchronized spinning or drifting. I know that we've seen testing where vehicles are just kind of going anywhere, but eventually it'll all be synchronized. So every seat will be the same, I guess. Like nothing will be different. They're saying your mic sounds weird, Danny. We can barely hear you.
Oh, let's see.
Watching your last Speculation Sunday, sad Bears loss, but happy for LA. Yeah, I'm happy. LA Rams. I honestly feel it's going to be Matthew Stafford versus Drake May. So Rams, Patriots. Brutality of a loss for the Broncos. That was a crazy-ass game, and then their quarterback just has a busted ankle, and he's done for the season. It's just heartbreaking, but that's football, man. Injuries happen.
Can you guys hear me out of the mic now?
Oh, you're 1,000 times better, Danny. 1,000 times better.
Oh, okay. For some reason, it wasn't detecting my big microphone here. So
no, you're perfect. You're perfect. All right, we're gonna get right into it. We're not wasting time today. I want to talk about it. So, the big news here is it's honestly just this statement. Like, we don't even have to read the other stuff. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge timeline soon expands at Disneyland. So this guy right here, Darth Vader, can finally make his way to Galaxy's Edge and walk around, and there's no limitations. He could be there every day if he wants. They even dropped a video, but the big thing too, Leia, Han, and Luke Skywalker, and I guess they put Chewie, they're all going to be in Galaxy's Edge. We've had Ahsoka, Mando, of course they are. Mando's about to have a movie. The other big thing is that Rey got booted pretty much to Rise of the Resistance area, and she will only be there. No Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren got booted all the way to Chase Visa, which is in Tomorrowland. That's where you're going to meet Kylo Ren. John Williams' music is going to be played in Galaxy's Edge, which is incredible. Cantina Band will be heard in Oga's Cantina. Another big thing, some of the shops and props and enhancements are going to be done to Galaxy's Edge to kind of have a little bit more of the OG timeline. Some of those props. Also, too, very soon we're gonna have the Mandalorian takeover of Smuggler's Run. I don't know if will the name change. I have no idea. If that'll change. But that's the big meat and potatoes of this conversation, and it all debuts April 29th. April 29th is the big day. Do you want me to bring up the other article, Danny?
Yeah, I sent you the Star Wars article, which is way more detailed. In fact, StarWars.com actually posted their own version of the article with a lot more details that the Disney Parks blog did not include. But I wanted to pull up a couple things because Mike Mondo said this is a really big deal. This is something that people have been asking for a while. It's something that people wondered why we never had this to begin with. And in all honesty, people that got really into the idea of what Galaxy's Edge was supposed to be, the timeline that it was in, and thinking of it in a place where it's stuck in a timeline and is its own place. That's a huge deal. And right here, Mondo brought up this. Had him bring up this. This is the Wikipedia. It's like Star Wars Wikipedia for the official Galaxy's Edge Black Spire book. I've read this book. It's a great book. I highly recommend it. I mean, all the Star Wars books are really, really good, but this book in general is really, really good. This is the entire backstory of Vi Marati, who's walking around Galaxy's Edge that no one even knows who she is unless you've read this book. And Vi Marati is actually a really cool character. I'm sad that this was never made into any sort of special movie or series because Vi is really awesome. I don't know if it's Vi or V. I call her Vi just because of VI. But honestly, she's like the personal spy for Leia Organa. And it's a fun story, but there's so much backstory and lore that Galaxy's Edge has with, we have, I can't even remember his name, the lore walker, the guy that narrates the show, the fireworks show, the Fire of the Rising Moons.
Yeah.
He's got a whole reason as to, we have this whole Luke Skywalker, lore and history told by the lore walker each
Skywalker,
with his robot who's sharing his story because he's long since passed away.
Yeah.
And so it's so weird that they're just going to retcon all of this and bring, this story of Black Spire of Vi Marati really never got to light. It's a crazy
and we
thing.
We try to bring awareness to this character many times. Even when we would see her in the park, we would try to meet her. But
yeah,
nobody cares.
I love Vi Marati, and I always talk to her with like special tidbits that you only know if you read this book. And it's really funny, like seeing her light up, like because characters they're all briefed on like the history of the character that they're portraying, and they know the world and some special details, so that when guests talk to them, they can speak, eloquently and thoroughly about their own character and stay within story. So I'm sure Vi Marati, she knew, like, she probably didn't have a lot of people who knew her backstory, who she was. She would probably like introduce herself, I'm sure, a lot of times. But I was just talking to Peter and I was saying it's kind of sad that they've made this story. And then don't forget that, Mondo, they also had that, the other link that I sent you was the entire collection of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge comics that was released one by one at a time, and they were always available. I have all of them. They were available inside Disneyland. I remember they would release them inside Star Wars Launch Bay each time they came out, and I would always go over there and get one. And those all told the story of Galaxy's Edge, and it's weird because it's almost like that none of that story matters anymore because the land isn't that anymore. So like this whole backstory of where Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is, Batuu, and all these things, like within a timeline of after the Last Jedi and all the part of the timeline that it sits in, it's like not relevant anymore, and they're just kind of like
like Darth Vader. That I don't give a shit, Darth Vader.
Yeah. And it's crazy because they're bringing in like multiple stories into the land, and they're actually like Star Wars is even like they're doing a whole new series of comics that explain why the old characters are allowed in the land now.
Yeah.
So it's like it's weird. It's like they're double backing on everything. And but honestly, I feel like if you read the book of the Black Spire, that one that has Vi Marati on the cover, if you read that book, it's like, and even just looking at the photo of like that, the book cover of the Vi Marati book cover on that Black Spire book, they got like stormtroopers there. They've got Doc Ondar on the cover, like looking on at like, Vi Marati in the distance. Like, how would this land have actually been had it come to life in the ways that they originally wanted or probably designed, right? Like with citizens walking around, like Mondo said, a little bit of a fight show happening over there in the right outside the droid depot. Potentially another little, battling scene happening over by the Millennium Falcon. There used to be a moment in time that we had seen like Chewie in the cockpit, and he would like come down the ramp and at the Millennium Falcon. That never happens anymore. You know what I mean? So like,
I've seen that happen. I've seen Chewie in it. I've seen it.
yeah.
Man.
So it's crazy. It's crazy to me that like they're just like we're just saying that this land is stupid without the story, but like in all reality, like it was never given an opportunity to be good, because everything was just wrecked from the beginning. Like there was no show. Bob Chapek tried to make it sound like the cast members in the land would be the entertainment. There was no bounty hunters in the bar. There was no gangsters in there like hanging around with you trying to like, rub elbows at, in Oga's cantina. There was no Oga animatronic like there was supposed to be in Oga's cantina. So like,
I
all
heard
of these,
too from a very like important person that there was supposed to be an animatronic in Docking Bay, the restaurant. There was
oh
supposed
yeah,
to be
there was supposed to be a lot more stuff that we didn't get. And I think all of that just led to a really confusing thing, right? People walked into Star Wars Land expecting to hear Star Wars music. You hear music in every other freaking land when you're inside Disneyland, so why wouldn't you hear it? They were like, "Oh, what is this timeline in Star Wars? This looks like nothing I've seen from a movie." When I walked into Cars Land, I knew exactly what that was, because that literally looked like I'm walking into a movie. When I walked into Hogsmeade at Universal Studios Hollywood at Wizarding World, I knew exactly what I was walking into. I'm walking into Hogsmeade Village from the world of Harry Potter. So it's like I'm walking into Batuu. I don't know what Batuu is. It's never been in a single movie that I've watched. It's got a really cool backstory in this book that maybe some people have read potentially. And it was never something that people recognized. And then all the things that they could have included to make it successful were removed before it could even have an opportunity to be popular. And so then it just opens with, okay, well, what is this? I don't know what this is. Is Darth Vader here? No. You can go meet Darth Vader if you know how to find him in the back corner of Launch Bay. But like, no, like half the time when you go see Darth Vader, he's sitting by himself doing nothing, and he should be like featured in the land, like with everyone wanting to see him. So
Yeah.
like, it's just so weird to me, like the weirdest thing ever. So I don't know. I feel like I understand why they, purists like, Peter, he doesn't want music to come to the land, and I understand, right? It's not the way the land was envisioned. This is a land in its original design that was supposed to be a living instance. You're going into a
You're the
living
story. You're the story.
you're going into a living part of the timeline. And if you were in the real world inside Galaxy's Edge, you wouldn't hear music playing, right? That's music from the movie. So they were supposed to have hustle and bustle sounds, like, sound effects coming from upstairs, and you're in the marketplace, you are hearing music, but you're hearing the radio, you're hearing it in the bathroom, right? And all that kind of stuff. So, but now it's just like, but the average guest, I think, doesn't really care about that. And I think that's what they realize. It's like, when people are the average guest, when they're walking into Star Wars land, they want to hear the music that they've been hearing when they watch the rising moons, whatever the heck the fireworks show is called. They're blasting John Williams music. They want to hear that when they're inside Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. They want to hear, the celebration on Naboo theme when like they're walking through like the streets of Galaxy's Edge. Like they want to hear Duel of Fates, Mondo's favorite song.
Yeah.
like walking through parts of Galaxy's Edge. So I feel like it'll help people emotionally connect more, right? That's one of the best parts about being in Harry Potter, is that you connect right away with Harry's Wondrous World and like all these famous songs from the John Williams score and some of the other movies that you instantly recognize, and it helps you connect to the land. And I think that's what this land has been missing, only because it wasn't executed originally the best way it should have been. Because I don't think anyone could say it was like a failure, only because it never got its true chance to shine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm on the side of like, I want the music. I want to see the characters that I can relate to. I saw you in the movie and now you're right here. I want to meet you. But I do get what Disney tried to do back then with Galaxy's Edge. Because they wanted it to be it's your story. You're creating your adventure in Galaxy's Edge. But like Danny said, it never got to do that because budgets and ideas and plans, everything got murdered, never came to life. It just died. All that stuff died. I don't know if they're going to revert back and try to bring some of those ideas back to life. I kind of hope they do. Why wouldn't you? Galaxy's Edge, it's a great land. It just needed the connection, and it didn't have it, in my opinion.
What was the Star Wars show, by the way, that I never watched after a certain number of episodes? Because like most of the Star Wars shows, like Andor, I really liked. Some people hated it. I also really liked Ahsoka a lot. I love Book of Boba. I love Mandalorian. So like most of the shows I love. But what was the show called that had the like angry girl who killed Jedis?
Acolyte.
Acolyte, dumbest show to ever exist. Anyone can argue with me on that. I'll never watch it ever. And I would have
power of one.
Yeah.
The power of two. The power of many.
Okay, what I'm trying to say though, Mondo, is that why didn't we get a cool show about Vimerati? I'd rather have that than whatever the heck that was.
Dude, Danny, since we're talking Star Wars, we're going to nerd out right now. We're going to go back in time. Opening day,
Galaxy. Why couldn't we get like Vimerati show?
No, we're going back in time, Danny. I guess Rise of the we have to go. Where are we at? Gosh, Danny, I got to go back in time because this is Florida. Because Florida opened first, right? That's how it worked.
Yeah, the show where we had the X-wing like drones.
Yeah, here it is.
Ignite the spark.
Just you get off the ride and you're just like you can't out it. The Batu drone. That's me and Danny in Florida. Do you still got that shirt? That shirt is sick. I remember that. I remember that day.
Yeah, I wore that shirt so much it's like faded. But everyone always like loved that shirt. They're always like, "Where'd you get that shirt?"
That's fire, dude. All right, here we go. Look at this. Look at this. This existed at one point.
Oh, see if I could zoom in. Has now opened. So they could just unveil.
Did they not talk? I thought they talked. I thought they had like a maybe I have. It's another video of mine where they were talking and stuff.
They're talking.
They are. I just don't want to play the whole video. You know what I mean?
I have no idea what's going on right now.
Oh, here it is. That's it. It's twice.
Need you to join us.
Hey down there, this is Blue Leader. Do you copy?
This is it, Danny. This is it. This is the one I was.
We
Look,
cannot
there's
mistake a battle
Vimerati.
for a war.
There's
This
Vimerati.
fight is far from over. General Organa is waiting. We're still running transports to take you to rendezvous with her, and we still need you to join us.
Hey down there, this is Blue Leader. Do you copy?
We copy, Blue Leader.
We have the data card with the First Order fleet movements. We're taking it now to General Organa. Tell Vimerati thank you from all of us.
You just did. Go get him, Blue Leader. We got it down here.
Roger that. Blue Leader out.
You should all be proud. You stood with us, and the First Order knows that we will not back down. Not now, not ever! We will fight until the galaxy is free. And with all of you, that is a fight that we surely can win. So, let me hear you once more. Ignite the spark! Light the fire!
That was the last time there was hype in that land, dude. Ignite the spark, dude. Never again. She
Yeah,
probably
that was the basis of the whole story. Like, she was coming down. General Organa sent her to Black Spire Outpost to sneak around and like catch the secret plans of the First Order's, next, trying to find the next, plan of attack kind of thing. So that's why they just said, we just got the plans, tell Vimerati thank you. So like it was like a whole storyline that like no one ever knew about. But like Vimerati would just walk around.
Dude, I thought when this happened, I'll never forget. I was telling Daddy, I was like, dude, this kind of energy all the time in Star Wars land, this is gonna be crazy. Come to find out, they'll never do this again. They never. It died. It died that day, dude.
I remember you were telling me, you're like, I finally know who that character is now.
I remember telling Dad, I was like, dude, this is like game changer. Like, I can't believe the energy. We got drones out here. Like, oh, man. That was crazy. All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes, Danny. Luke, Darth Vader, Han, Leia, they're all coming to Galaxy's Edge. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, go to the Star Wars post rather than the. Oh, you are. I think it's great. Like I said, I kind of had a little bit of a agree to disagree with Peter on it when it comes to the music. I think I've been saying that since literally day one. I knew the reasoning as to why they didn't want the music there, and it made sense as to why they didn't want it for the purpose of why they chose not to. But I just, personally, I'm a huge soundtrack person. Like most of what I listen to all the time are soundtracks. So I took film score, like music history and all that stuff in school. So I love all that. And, Star Wars has some of the best film scores in all of history. It's one of the most recognized things. It's emotional for a lot of people. So immediately that should have been there since day one. And even when we, Mondo and I were there at opening day of Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge, when they counted down from 10, and Mondo just yells out, "Cali, man!" in the crowd, and we're going through the. I dubbed over the celebration of Naboo because I felt like that was the best song to put in that moment, and I put that on my like Instagram post for it. And everyone was commenting like, "Oh my God, that's so cool that they used that song. That's such an awesome thing." And I'm like, they didn't. I put that song. But I'm like, it just shows you that like a song like that being added to such a cool moment was so like emotional for a lot of people. Yeah. And like, it's going to be now. People are going to be in the land. They're going to be like, wow, this is so cool. Like hearing the music and all that stuff. So honestly, I also think it's cool that they're separating it into different spaces. It makes sense that the area by Rise of the Resistance is landlocked to the trilogy, the sequel trilogy, because that ride's taking place in that time period, and the storyline that's unfolding there. Ray's explaining to you why you're in the pre-show, like what your goal is, and they're trying to find the location of the secret base, and you're trying to prevent that from happening, and that's all taking place in that area. So like Ray can be there, she can be in that part of the land, because it's all part of the story. And then the other parts of the land, at least according to the Star Wars article, which they provided a little bit more details than the Disneyland one, they're actually giving reasons as to why like there's going to be new characters introduced into the rest of the land, and they're explaining why the TIE Echelon, which is Dark Kylo Ren ship, why it's like still within the same genre or same era that could be used by Darth Vader, and so like he'll be around that ship, and so it all makes sense. And then they talk about First Order cargo and how that's switching to Black Spire surplus, and it's going to be. And then they gave it like a whole rich backstory. They said that Black Spire surplus was founded by two former clone troopers who fought alongside each other in the Clone Wars and became close friends. Years later, one of the soldiers joined the Empire, served as an Imperial stormtrooper, while the other joined the rebellion. But as they got older, they decided to retire and team up as friends and business partners, opening their new venture on the planet of Batu. Like, there's a whole freaking backstory they've created just to retheme a gift shop. So like they're trying really hard to give each Space and Galaxy's Edge like new storyline. But I think it's just going to be great, right? Like they're going to have opportunities to sell Star Wars merch from every era in this space. Doc Ondar specifically, like there's so much that's being sold in the exit of Star Tours that should be sold at Doc Ondar's, like things that are considered like relics of the past, right, can be in Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities, because from every era, and that's what they're saying. And then the other cool part is Savi's workshop. I mean, how cool is it going to be for kids when they're building a lightsaber, not only to hear Master Yoda talk to you like you normally do, but having Luke Skywalker walk around and help you decide what you're going to put your lightsaber together with? That should have been there from day one. You know what I mean? Like, what kid isn't going to love that experience? You have Luke Skywalker freaking helping you build a lightsaber. Like, that's really cool. You know what I mean?
Where is this lightsaber talk?
It's right in there. That's why I said this article gave way more details. That whole thing. So it says here, Savi's workshop.
Where's the Savi? I guess if I hit find Savi. Oh, it's just right here. Savi's workshop. It is so unbelievably emotional and impactful to be standing in front of the Falcon or next to Savi. No. I do remember reading about Savi's, though. I think maybe it was the Disney Parks blog says something about Savi's workshop.
Yeah, Luke Skywalker will be interested in meeting with Savi. You may continue to have opportunity to purchase and build your own lightsaber under the guidance of Savi's gatherers. So he'll be there as part of that potentially. It doesn't say all the time, but I mean, how cool would that be? You know what I mean?
Maybe his voice is all of a sudden present. You know how you hear the voices above?
Yeah, potentially. But I mean,
Savi's workshop needs a Yoda animatronic in there instead of just the voice. I just want Yoda to pop out, just bam, right there in front of you, Yoda animatronic.
Yeah. You know what I didn't know either, Mondo? And I actually just found this out by talking to David Vaughn. I didn't know that Oga's Cantina had moved to a no reservation policy.
So it's only in person?
Yeah, it's only walk-up.
Ah, that's interesting. Yeah. I like that. And
they're closing down for renovation. So do we see, one thing that people have always hated in Oga's Cantina, I feel like what's always been a big detractor is that people would make a reservation for Oga's Cantina. They come up for their reservation. They may have to wait a little bit, even if they have a reservation. only to be put at a table they're splitting at with someone else, and you feel like you made a reservation for no reason. So I feel like that probably that probably caused a lot of detractors, where managers would have to come talk to guests who are upset. So I feel like if you set the expectation right and it becomes walk up only, then you're just lucky to get in. And so at that point,
whatever you get is what you get. It is what it is.
So I feel like people will be a little bit more, not opposed to sharing a table because they're just happy to get in that moment.
And it is crazy what Oga's has become. It used to be pretty comfortable in there. Now it's it just.
My question to you, Mondo, was with this whole renovation
back then.
Well, I would say with this whole renovation that's coming up and that new policy, do you feel like with this renovation, do you feel like it's just like a general like closure just to add the like new music loop to it? Or do you think they're going to rework some of the seating inside because it just wasn't working for them?
I'm just going to throw it out there. I haven't heard nothing, but if I was a manager, what's the first thing I want to do is everything is standing. Nobody sits down. Add more standing, because when it's standing, you could just cram more people. You know what I mean? The whole seating area, I feel like it takes away from a lot of stuff. Maybe that's what they go to, because are they still doing 2-drink limits, or is that... I haven't been to Oga's in forever, so like I don't even know. Is that still a thing?
I haven't been. I wanted to go back before it closed, just to kind of see what it's like, what's still on the menu, because you and I heard that one of our favorite things wasn't even being offered anymore, the Oga's Obsession, or it was going to like some other restaurant or something. So
I think it was just gone, Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the drinks that Oga's opened up with, they don't even exist anymore. But I think they're going to make it all standing. For whatever reason, I have a hunch. Because I think Disneyland, they want it to be like, come get your drinks, enjoy your music, get the hell out of here. We don't want you to stay here for 3 hours, 4 hours. Like, we don't want, Disney doesn't want that.
Yeah.
I think standing encourages of like, you come here and you go. And I would assume maybe one table, like for accessibility purposes, but I think they're going to go with you got to stand. That's what I think. That's what I think.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like, Mondo and I talked about this right after we saw this announcement or heard about it coming. We feel like this is just the beginning for changes coming to Galaxy's Edge.
Let's go to that next, Danny, because that's where I have a juicy speculation.
That's why we're here, right? That's why we're here.
The person that told me about this announcement before anybody even had an idea it was going to happen, the person was right. That same person said there's more to come. This is not it. And the only answer I got after all the other questions I asked, is it Galaxy's Edge related, or we're talking just Star Wars? And the person said, no, it is Galaxy Edge related. There is more announcements to come that I guess are just going to lead up to April. So Season of the Force, I'm assuming. What are your thoughts on that conversation, Danny? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, Disney's getting better and better with animatronics, and I feel like it's an opportunity for them to start implementing some more of that. Those BD, I forgot what they're called, those little tiny
BDX?
droids.
Yeah.
Those droids rocking. That's just like scratching the surface, right? Like we need.
We just saw that Olaf out there walking in Paris.
Yeah, we need an Oga's animatronic above the bar at Oga's Cantina. We need some sort of animatronics in all the different areas of there's something, needs to be some movement, some life in Docking Bay 7. Like there needs to be a menu change there, something that makes it people feel more Star Wars. I feel like the music thing, like I said, I'm a huge supporter of that. I feel like that's going to go a long way to help people feel a certain type of way when they're walking through Galaxy's Edge. But we need, a lot of change in all the different areas, for additional merchandise, just things didn't pan out as they wanted, right? They had a Jedi robes store. They thought that they were going to be as popular as like selling Harry Potter robes. Never really panned out. And if you bought the robes, you couldn't even wear them in Disneyland anyway.
Yeah, that was the stupidest buzzkill ever. We're gonna sell all this Jedi robe, which is very expensive. None of it was cheap, but you can't wear it in the land. That's how it all debuted. It was the stupidest thing. It was just like Knots. We're gonna sell this 50th Scary Farm backpack, but you can't wear it. It's like, what? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
We're gonna shoot ourselves in the foot.
I just
Run
hope
away.
we get, my next thing on the wish list is an Oga animatronic for Oga's Cantina, for sure. And then I want some sort of like movement on like within the land somewhere, whether that's like roaming droids.
The roaming droids is, I think, the one that'll please a lot of people big time, because
citizens of Batu, like super dressed up. Besides the characters roaming around, just additional props put in that tie different things together. The whole Skywalker like projection show is beautiful and I love it. But now that Luke Skywalker is part of this timeline, as is Han, as is Leia, and Darth Vader, like having Darth Vader there and Luke Skywalker live in that time frame, the whole idea that this lore walker is telling you ancient stories of the Skywalker family doesn't really make sense anymore now that they're there in that timeline. So they're gonna have to love the projection show, love everything about it, but bring it to light in a way that's, I guess, more current now with what's actually happening, because it doesn't make sense anymore as to why they would be telling you stories of ancient past that are now characters.
They're actually, the Skywalker's alive. He's right under the Millennium Falcon. What are we talking about?
Yeah, R2J2, perfect example.
Yeah,
why aren't there poor animatronics like making little noise and flapping around?
Danny, you know what my thought is? We just saw FanFest do it with the Fantastical Beast, or whatever, the dragon, the Akami, the Niffler. Galaxy's Edge needs that kind of stuff, puppeteer stuff. It would go a long way.
Like puppeteers,
dude. Puppeteer work in Galaxy's Edge would be awesome. The little kids would be like freaking out, like, what is this? I want to ask everybody in the chat, what is a great creature that could be brought to life through puppeteer work in Galaxy's Edge? I want you guys to post in the comments right now. I want to look at some of these creatures that you guys say. But that totally needs a... Universal is always creating new puppet work. We saw... what was the new dinosaur? Oh my gosh, I can't... The Aquilops? They just created an Aquilops. They got a baby raptor. Dude... The little dragon they had recently, like even smoke came out of the nose. It was crazy. Let me see. I want to see what people say. Oh, man, I have a big one that I want to bring up, but I want to see what people say real quick, Danny. Let's let people comment. Any creatures that could be... That's probably the best one, a Rancor. Yeah. I don't know how. Star Wars Rancor. You imagine that? Oh gosh, it would break the internet.
Theme Park IQ is not a creature, but we need those Star Wars night Ewoks to just be regulars in the land now, and that totally makes sense.
Dude, 100%. Ewoks, have them come out at night, so like those outfits are not unbearable. Just have them come out at night. That'd be sick.
Yeah. That'd be dope. Salacious Crumb, 100%. They already sell puppets for guests to buy of this creature. You should definitely have Salacious Crumb.
This has to be the number one, right? Bantha? Like,
well, that was that. But the thing is the Bantha was supposed to be in the land.
No, I know, but at this point, let's just do it. Why are we not? Yeah, Bantha for sure. But we're talking puppeteer work, everybody. Oh man, model nodes band needs to perform all around Galaxy's Edge. Model nodes, what is that? I don't even know what that is.
Modal nodes.
Modal nodes. Let me bring that up. Modal nodes. That is exact. I was like, they already have these outfits. I was like, is that the band that I'm thinking of? Yeah, they have these outfits. They bring these out at Star Wars night. I've seen it multiple times. I think they go around Rivers of America, if I'm not mistaken. These dudes should just pop up in Ogas just like once or twice a day. Like, they don't even have to be that many.
Well, Giant Panda Adventures says Yoda would be more of that like new Olaf animatronic, but honestly, why isn't the Grogu being done like that Oga animatronic? Or by like the Olaf animatronic, you know?
I feel like the Grogu would be a lot easier because his robe goes all the way down, so you don't see the feet. So they don't have to worry about the feet aspect of things. It'd just be kind of animating and making noise. Dude, they could totally make a Baby Yoda. Or what's his name? Grogu. That'd be a sick walk around character, Grogu. They have the ectoskeleton they could use for a big creature. You know, the big creature I was thinking, the Hulk, they could just Rancor right away. All right, let's go to this one real quick, Danny. Let me bring up my tweet. I want to hear your thoughts on this. So I had a couple conversations, and I was really trying to figure out what other announcements could be coming. What other announcements could be coming to Galaxy's Edge? What is something that could keep people in the land? Because Disneyland wants that. They want you to stay in the land. Because I kind of feel like Galaxy's Edge in its current state is like, oh, you go in there, you just walk right out. They ain't nothing going on besides spending money. That was always like a joke, a running joke. And I brought this up right here. If you've been to Knott's during Ghost Town Alive, it's a whole storyline that happens over multiple hours to a big finale. Could Disneyland use that concept idea with Star Wars involving Luke, Leia, Han, Darth Vader? Something like this has been brainstormed already at Galactic Star Cruiser, so why not keep some of those concepts alive just with OG characters? What are your thoughts? It's a great way to keep people in Galaxy's Edge and have storytelling moments throughout the day. Disneyland storytelling? What do you think, Danny? What do you think?
Yeah.
A Ghost Town Alive, but Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, Disney was the first person to do this, right? They had Legends of Frontierland, and the whole purpose of Legends of Frontierland was supposed to be for a play test in real life for things that they were going to do at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge that never panned out. And eventually it did pan out, but it panned out in the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel and not with the actual guests. So Legends of Frontierland was a playtest by Imagineering for Star Wars Land, and things that they were going to do.
They
in
had
Star Wars
somebody
Land.
right here? What? I've never seen that.
Dude, this was literally Ghost Town Alive. It's the same thing.
Whoa! I never seen this. They got people in jail?
Yeah. This is literally everything you could think of that is Ghost Town Alive. It was Legends of Frontierland. Like the same story. Like people would get put in jail. You would have to help they had a whole like
even got a newspaper, Danny. Look at this.
Yeah, I have those somewhere.
Wow.
They had a new newspaper every day.
Wow. That's exactly Ghost Town Alive.
Yeah.
So, whoa, I'm mind blown right now. I literally was just brainstorming this. This could be a possibility. Like, you know, this coming to Disneyland is not far-fetched, is what I'm trying to say. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, it could be. The current day Disney isn't really the kind of people that like to hire a lot of entertainers, it seems like. But yeah, they had Ghost Town Alive before it was at Ghost Town Alive, and they play tested for Galaxy's Edge. They did bring this to the Galactic Star Cruiser, with a storyline that you'd have to go from one part of the ship to the other part of the ship, and then it all culminated with a big battle, that you saw unfold between Kylo Ren and Rey in the main part of the ship. That was the main entertainment for the night. This was a play thing that they did, and people were really into it. They were really part of. They loved Legends of Frontierland, and then at D23, that's when they told us it was a playtest for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, as was supposedly. I don't know. The second one's a rumor, but the Trader Sam's Adventureland Tiki Jujus, those were also a playtest for stuff that they were going to do at Galaxy's Edge as well.
Wait, say that again. Trader Sam's what?
The Jujus, the Juju, the Jujus.
What in the world?
The quest for the Jujus, right there. The Juju charms.
The quest for the Juju charms?
Like right there, the top right. Those Juju charms.
Whoa,
I have all of them.
Oh, what the freak? Can you talk about that? What the hell is this? What is this?
Those were. I have the full set of all those Jujus. They're actually hanging up on my wall. I made a shadow. I made an Adventureland themed shadow box. In the same style of like Mademoiselle I forgot how to say her name, but the way that she did it, I made it Adventureland themed, and then I hung all those Jujus up. But I got mine from the original playtest that happened at D23. And then it was such a success at D23 that they brought it to Adventureland. And I was so thankful that I got to do it at D23, because trying to do this quest when it was in Adventureland was insane. Like the lines were insane, and like trying to get all the different Jujus.
Like you're saying these lines were insane because it was popular?
Yes. Yeah. And it was bad.
And Disneyland was like, we don't want to do it. We don't want to do it.
So the Juju quest, I don't remember. I was there when it was happening in Adventureland, but I don't know exactly what you had to do in order to. I know you had to go on like sort of a quest and a scavenger hunt, and you had to complete certain like missions in order to collect the Juju. In D23, that's how it was. So like you were sent to a certain part of the Imagineering Pavilion, and you had to like see this Imagineer and then tell them a story about like whatever, and then they gave you a charm. And then you go to the next one and you had to put your hand into like a fear box, and you didn't know what was inside. And
I hate fear boxes. I'm not a fan of it.
And so they gave you so they had like, oh, and then the coolest part was you actually saw it in an earlier photo that you showed there, Mondo. There was a picture of a drink that had one of the Jujus attached to it.
Yeah, I saw right here, this one.
Yeah, right there. So at D23, you got all the Jujus, and the last Juju was actually this Juju right here. And the only way you could get it, and John Lasseter was actually the one that was talking about this Juju quest, and he said the way you get the last Juju is by going to Trader Sam's and ordering this drink, and it comes on the drink as a charm. And that's how you were able to complete the set. So everyone from D23 had to go to Trader Sam's to order this grog in order to get the last Juju. So it was really cool.
As soon as I see this, my first reaction is like, I just want to do this because I want the charms. Like I want these things.
And they were nice charms. They're like hand painted. They're resin. Like they're like the same material as the big figs that you see like in Disneyana store. Like they had like high quality leather straps, like beads. Like they're not cheap at all. They felt really nice. So they did
their hope
for all these things, and then they never did it in Galaxy's Edge. But then
hope
saw it come up in the Galactic Star Cruiser, and people were like, oh, they did use that, but they just put it behind a paywall.
Is there hope, Danny, that the stars can align somehow and they budget a Ghost Town Alive, Star Wars, and Galaxy's Edge? Is there hope, dude? What do you think? Or since we're in the current era of Disney that is just money hungry and penny pinching to the max, do they bring that experience during Star Wars night? How about that? So try answer both, Danny. Regular hours, Star Wars night. What do you think? What do you think? Is there hope for?
I think like the Juju quest that we were talking about. I feel like that could be something that would be so well received in like a Star Wars night. They could do a Juju quest or like some sort of scavenger quest during Star Wars night that people could get really into, and it would really help divide the crowds, because Disney loves doing that in these After Dark events. They love getting crowds to like specific things, so they're pretty much well dispersed. It also lets them like bring more people in than they would have, because there's a group of people that are going to come in to just ride rides, and they can do that. Then there's a group of people that are going to come in to do this like special little quest or scavenger hunt. And then there's going to be the people that want to take the photos and meet the characters. And so like, I feel like that'd be something that'd be super cool during a limited time event like that. Cause I feel like if they did something like the Juju quest all the time, like people would do it and then it would kind of just fizzle out. But if it was a limited time thing, it would be like people would want to do it just to collect it because it'd be gone. You know what I mean? So, because a perfect example of something that was ongoing that fizzled out was bounty hunting with your magic band.
Nobody cared.
People cared in the first month. You had long lines wrapping around all the way down towards Rise of the Resistance to interact with that machine. And I've never seen anyone do it nowadays. So
I don't even know if it's turned on anymore. I have no idea. I want to say, I'm just going to throw speculation out there. I would tend to think something like this could be a reality. These are my thoughts. Disney obviously was these ideas that have been just boiling for what, 6 years now, 7 years since 2019. They just been rotting away because for whatever reason, the forces that were in play, Kathleen Kennedy, they didn't allow Luke, Han, Leia, Darth Vader to be in Galaxy's Edge. I think what's going to happen, this is just my opinion, I think what's going to happen is we're going to see a gigantic overcorrection and they just go wild with original trilogy everything. And that's kind of one of the reasons I keep saying Kylo Ren is done. He ain't ever coming back, ever. He could roam probably Tomorrowland, but he ain't gonna be roaming in Galaxy's Edge. That's what I think. Something like this kind of has a chance. And I keep saying too, maybe Jedi training comes back in some form in Galaxy's Edge. You never know. I think Disney's going to go super overcorrection, and they're just going to be like keep doing stuff and budget and ideas for Galaxy's Edge. I feel like they're going to go nuts, Danny. That's what I think. My heart, though, if they do a storyline Ghost Town Alive thing with the current era of Disney, it would probably be Star Wars night. Like, I just have because they're whack. They got to get more money. Your general admission's not enough. They want After Dark event money. But I hope this is something they do during regular hours, because then the kids could get involved, and the big kids, which are adults, they could get involved. I think it'd be really, really cool. The last thing before we move on from all this Star Wars talk, in your heart, do you think Rise of the Resistance at some point in time gets rethemed and they just original trilogy it? What are your thoughts on that one?
Like the whole land just gets original trilogied?
Yeah, they just like, goodbye, Rey and Kylo, goodbye. What are your thoughts, Daddy?
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would love that, but
yeah,
there's also a lot of people, though, really love the sequel trilogy too, and so I love both of them. I don't have obviously I grew up with the original trilogy, right? So I have a special place for that. And who doesn't? Who's a Star Wars fan? But I really love the sequel trilogy too. I never like joined the hate train on that. Now some of the Star Wars shows I did join the hate train on, like Acolyte.
Yeah, and the Disney Plus is garbage. There's so much garbage that has come from Disney Plus.
Yeah, that stuff is not the best, but the sequel trilogy, I feel like it had a lot of hype, and then also there was hate back in the day with the prequels, and I never hated those. I loved every single. I was like so obsessed with those growing up because that was truly our generation, right? Growing up with the prequels, like so. Those were the best.
All that good stuff.
Honestly, for me, I want to see more prequel stuff come into the land. I want to see Queen Amidala walking around. I want to see
that'd be so cool.
I want to see Foundation like droids walking through, like the Federation droids. I mean, walking through the land like that. That'd be cool. I feel like, in my opinion. So I feel like it's a good move to make it sort of a neutral space where it can just be a backdrop to a vaguely Star Wars area, and people can just meet their favorite Star Wars characters, hear their favorite Star Wars songs, try food they always wanted to try, from the movie, or things that would seem like they're from the movie, and bring us new experiences, like they're doing with Mando coming to the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, and who knows, maybe in the future, like maybe Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run isn't even Millennium Falcon anymore. Maybe it's something else, and they can like redo the whole ride and make it like something different. I don't know. It's a lot of theming that would have to be changed, but
I just want to throw this out there because this is Speculation Sunday. We talk crazy sometimes. There was just a huge speculation. I kind of don't believe it at all, but that eventually the Millennium Falcon would get taken out. And you're like, what? No. Well, another ship would come in its place. It's not like that spot, the Millennium Falcon is the only ship that has ever landed there, the whole story. Any ship could come and go there. So maybe a different ship comes there, and that ride is all of a sudden rethemed to something else. I guess the most fitting thing that could come in the near future is Mando, because Mando is like all the love right now. But I heard a rumor like that, and I was like, wow, that'd be crazy. It's just be kind of weird because the Millennium Falcon is just so key to the original trilogy. It's like one of the most important things of the original trilogy, the Millennium Falcon. But I get it. If that would be cool. That would really change a lot of the feel of the land. All of a sudden, it's a different ship.
People are saying we need Qui-Gon Jinn. Some people are saying we need Mace Windu. They need Darth Maul.
Jar Jar Binks. Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know why the hell nobody ever brings that up. Obi-Wan Kenobi would be awesome. Darth Maul just walking around would be crazy. Like, whoa. He would get a crowd. He would get a very big crowd. I think there is a possibility that they retheme Rise of the Resistance. And I go back to just this gigantic overcorrection that I feel the wave is coming. I feel the wave is coming. They're just original trilogy, everything. This is just me as like a Disney executive talking. Give these people what they want. Shut them up. I don't care. Make them happy. We want to make money. Like I feel like that is truly being said behind the scenes. Whoever is in charge of budgets and approvals of whatever ideas come from Disneyland in specific, I believe that stuff exists. So that's what I think is going to happen. All right, let's move on. Or any closing thoughts, or we're good to move on, Danny?
We're going to move on to Universal.
Yeah, let's get out of Disneyland and let's head on over to Universal Fan Fest. Universal. like FanFest needs like a theme song or something. I don't know why. Universal Fan Fest has announced what is coming so far. There is more to come. This is not the end of these announcements. I would assume these announcements are all just going to be fleshed out very soon. Mainly because people want to travel to this. They want to know what they're buying, they want more meat on the bone than what's already announced, which in my opinion, it's a lot. But here it is. This is official. Scooby-Doo Universal Monsters. We've been knowing about that. Harry Potter is going to be coming back. One Piece, Dungeons and Dragons, and Super Nintendo World. Where do you want to go first, Danny? Which one do you want to talk about first?
I want to talk about Harry Potter because
that's good.
It was the sleeper hit of the last FanFest. Obviously, there was incredible fanfare, as there should be, for the Back to the Future stuff that they were offering, which honestly for me made it worth the admission just for that alone. And then on top of that, there was the big fanfare around One Piece at the time. Even with what they were offering, the characters that were being brought to life, people loved it. The animators or the actors were doing amazing jobs. But I feel like what went under the radar a little bit for some people was just how cool the stuff they were doing in Wizarding World. We had the Sniffler or whatever, the Niffler in from Fantastic Beasts. We also had the Akami walking around. Those were such cool additions. They had new food items that debuted that to this day now still exist in Wizarding World because they were such a hit. Like the meat pie, the Hogwarts meat pie. So there was just like a bunch of really cool things. So the fact that we're going to get a walkthrough this time, potentially, inside a mostly unused space of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is probably the most exciting thing, because if you guys have seen the extended queue for the Forbidden Journey of Harry Potter, that is overgrown. That thing is overgrown and abandoned. But it really does. I think they kind of just let it because it does such a good job of framing Hogwarts to be by itself, up on that hill. Gives it that appearance of it being so far away. And Universal loves using their extended queues for special events, aka the Jurassic Pad
Horror Night.
Horror Nights walkthroughs. So doing a Forbidden Forest walkthrough for Harry Potter, I mean, this is bringing to life something that Mondo and I have talked about so many times when we're talking about.
We wanted it for a long time, dude.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for Halloween Horror Nights. We're like, well, how can they bring some kind of walkthrough experience for Horror Nights to Harry Potter and make it cool? And maybe in their mind, they really wanted to do it too, but they just couldn't either get the people in charge of the storyline to agree to making something scary that would be worth it for Halloween Horror Nights, and even John Murdy being okay with having something that's not scary enough being in his event, but bringing it to the event like the FanFest nights gives them the opportunity to maybe have some scary moments, since it is the Forbidden Forest, right? It's a scary part of Harry Potter, but not scary enough to be in the Halloween Horror Nights of it all, but enough to be a thrilling experience that people would love to do at a FanFest nights and would certainly get people to buy tickets. I mean, that alone, amongst all the other things they're doing, is going to certainly help.
Dude, the Harry Potter fandom, they go hard. They spend money, and it's big. It's a very big group. Let me read this real quick just so people could see. This new unique walkthrough experience will take guests into the depths of the Forbidden Forest in search of a lost hippogriff. With guidance from Hogwarts professor, they will encounter magical creatures and familiar beasts as they face a series of obstacles which will require the guests to summon their bravery and spell casting skills to help a hippogriff in need. What do you get out of that, Danny? Where does your mind go? What kind of creatures? What are we encountering? What do you think?
Well, I think this is cool, right? We're gonna get the hippogriff, right? Which we saw debut in Japan, and during this last event, we had special meet and greet things like the Niffler and the Akami that debuted in Japan. So now we're gonna have those. So now we can expect this cool walking, character meet and greet to be something that we can see now here, for our guests during this special event. So I think that's super cool. I loved the way they implemented it there, and I think it's been cool that how they're doing it here with these special events.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a big hit, Danny. This Harry Potter thing. And I would assume, too, the Akami, Niffler, all that will probably still be happening. Like, I doubt they just take that away. Like, they already have the access to all that. Harry Potter land really coming to life strong all of a sudden, Danny. And most likely, they'll probably still be doing the projection show. So, Harry Potter as a land is just going to be alive big time. I can't wait. I cannot wait to experience this. It's one of the most anticipated things I'm excited for. With all the fan fest stuff. Let's go to the next one right here, Danny. This is essentially, I think the way Universal's looking at it is this is the big bang right here. Scooby-Doo Universal Monsters. This is going to be the one that takes over the studio tour experience where you get off. Scooby-Doo meets Universal Monsters Mystery on the Backlot. We actually got a name. Look at that. Mystery on the Backlot. This all-new immersive walkthrough adventure is designed to give guests the sensation of stepping into a live-action mystery. With Scooby-Doo Gang and Universal Monsters, guests will travel to the destination via studio tour tram, where they have a chance to walk along a movie studio backlot with Scooby-Doo himself and his pals Fred, Daphne, Velma, Shaggy. The exciting escapade will challenge them to solve a mystery involving the most legendary Universal monsters in cinematic history, including Frankenstein, Dracula, Bride of Frankenstein, and Wolfman, as they navigate portions of Universal World famous outdoor film sets, from the cobblestone streets of Little Europe to the iconic Court of Miracles, the original filming locations for historic Universal horror films, Frankenstein and the Wolfman. Now that we got more meat on the bone on this announcement, how do you feel? How do you feel about this?
I love it. I love it. I mean, the moment I heard Scooby-Doo and Universal Monsters, I was already signed up. So hearing just more detail on it like that, and the way that it's going to be implemented makes me even more excited for it. And if we have the same team that was behind the brilliance that was the all the stuff for Back to the Future, we know this is going to be done well, right? There's no question about it. I don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah. For me, I still don't see the vision. Because I'm not like the biggest Scooby-Doo fan at all. Like, I don't watch those cartoons.
Yeah, but you grew up watching the cartoon and seeing like how they're going for all the different, how they're like. Did you watch any of them? How they would try to find the mystery behind the monster that they were kind of trying to seek out? Did you ever watch any of that or no?
I have to be honest, Danny. The answer is no. Where can I, like, say we go back when we were kids or younger? Where do I even watch Scooby-Doo? What was Scooby-Doo on? Was it Nickelodeon or?
No, I think it was on like, it was a Saturday morning cartoon.
So like Channel 11, Channel 7, Channel 5?
Yeah, like one of those. I don't even know where you could watch it now. Like, where to stream Scooby-Doo?
I wasn't really a Scooby-Doo like fan, I guess. I don't know. One thing I was thinking of doing is watching like Scooby-Doo on YouTube or something, because I'm pretty sure there is. Scooby-Doo.
You can watch it on Tubi for free.
Tubi? All right, I'll download Tubi. But yeah, I always like, I don't want to say researching things, but I just want to be aware of what are these things that were,
Yeah, watching the seasons that are on Tubi, like, so I'm looking at it right now, that'd be perfect for exactly what they're describing here.
Mm.
And those are from 1976.
Let me bring this up. Massive downgrade from Destination Hill Valley. No interest in this at all. How do you feel about that sentiment, Danny? Because it seems like a lot of people are like, well, I'm not traveling to this no more. Like, how do you feel about that?
I feel like I don't know.
I think this is what I
I
want
feel
to say
like
real quick.
Universal Monsters is going to bring a level of fandom to the event either way. And I think once people see it, because if you remember, like, sure, there's always been like huge stands of Back to the Future, including our group, right? We've always been that way. But a lot of people like aren't super big on Back to the Future. You know, as a whole, right? There, otherwise we would never have lost the Back to the Future attraction and have it replaced with Simpsons Land, right? It would have still been here today if it was that popular. And
I always go back. This guy named Disneyland Panda. He passed away, but I'll never forget when I had a conversation with him, and we were at Universal, and I was like, "Why did this become Simpsons? I don't understand." He's like, "Dude, I've been coming to Universal all the time for many years. People hated Back to the Future. It was old. They nobody wanted to do it. It just had this like this stale vibe of like old." He kept reiterating old. And he's like, Universal went into this mode of like, we just need new things. Whatever the new thing is, we just need to do it. And Back to the Future got kicked for Simpsons, I guess. but it goes to what you're saying, Danny. If Back to the Future was so popular, why did it get taken down?
Yeah, and it wasn't until the event like really showed how cool it was that you were like in Hill Valley, you were like going from one part of the story, like the story would progress and you had to follow the story as it was progressing, or you didn't and you just stuck around doing what you wanted to do in your specific section. Then that was, you know, what you did. But you could progress through the storyline. I mean, how cool would it be to follow the, you know, the Scooby-Doo and the gang as they're trying to like, you know, track down one of these universal monsters that they're searching out, and like being part of that whole storyline as it's unfolding. I think people are going to find way more fun in that than they think. So
let me ask, let's go to the other side of this. Could this be better than Destination Hill Valley? Like in the bigger picture of things, what do you think? Because it's kind of flowing in the same feel of like you're going back to where a lot of this started, you know? Like,
I mean, for me, it's like kind of a bias thing, because if you're going to ask me what I like better, Back to the Future or Scooby-Doo, like I like Back to the Future better, but that's my own bias, personal bias playing into that. Right. So like, I don't know if I can necessarily answer that question in a way that like, what would I prefer? Like, I haven't experienced it yet, but I feel like potentially this could have a wider appeal, right? Like it was such a shot in the nostalgia heart, right? For all the Hill Valley stuff that we were seeing, especially like, hearing Adam the Woo talk about it and like how much it meant to him when he was doing it. Like it was literally for an older generation that got to grow up with these movies and then experience it again. And like a younger kid that was coming with you to the event doesn't necessarily know anything about Back to the Future. They just thought that was cool. But everyone can kind of relate to Scooby-Doo, and we have a whole season of Scooby-Doo inside Fortnite, right? And that's something that kids play. So like kids are more familiar with Scooby-Doo than they are with Back to the Future. So I feel like in that aspect, if you're saying it could be better in the sense that it could appeal to a larger group of people. Because this, people who were growing up in the 70s know what Scooby-Doo is, because that's what these seasons are here on Tubi. They're from 1976. And then, people nowadays know who Scooby-Doo is. So I think in that aspect, it has a wide appeal.
I was going to say too, like, I really can't find a video right now because it's just so much stuff comes up when I search. Scooby-Doo came to Volcano Bay in Orlando, and any of that content that came out of that It was like some clown guy they were trying to unveil or find out. All that stuff went mega viral. Like mega viral. Do you remember that stuff, Danny?
I remember.
Yeah. So
It was like Scooby-Doo Summer or something.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo something in the summer, but it was like it was like a clown guy that they were trying to like unmask, I guess. And I remember when I saw that, I was like, I wonder if they're trying to do that as testing for something. That just was my thought. I'm excited. At the end of the day, I'm very excited. I'm sure there's a lot of creatives that created Back to the Future, Destination Hill Valley, are probably involved in this one. This is my sentiment. FanFest year one was like, is this going to work? We don't know. It's the first time we've done this. Now, year two, I feel like they're just going to start flushing out ideas, and they probably have bigger budgets and more confidence in the company to do these things for the creatives. I really feel like things are going to be just flushed out I don't even know what the right word, very magically. They're just going to go bigger and better for this event. I don't look at it as like they're going to half-ass into year two. I think they're just going to they're just more bang to everything. That's what I think. You think that too, Danny, by any chance? Or you're just like, we got to see how it plays out? That's my view.
I got to see how it plays out.
Okay, yeah. I'm like confident it's going to be good. Let's go to the next one. One Piece. One Piece is going to be coming to Waterworld as a show this time. And it's going to have more characters that we didn't get to see the first year around. How do you feel about One Piece show coming, Danny?
Love it. We were wondering why we didn't have it this time around last time. And now that we're going to have it for sure, this is like, that's going to be a huge draw, massive draw during this event, like insane draw.
I think it's a good doubling down on this success of the year one. They are still going to do the meet and greets, and you're going to get the show. I keep thinking Hollywood and Dine is going to become One Piece, because why wouldn't it? It has Waterworld right there. It's almost like a One Piece land is all of a sudden being created. But I think the show's going to be a big hit. It's a great people eater. And just the show alone, for these One Piece fans, they're just going to be like, my day's over. Like I'm good. Whatever I do after this, it's fine.
Yeah,
like,
they came to do what they wanted to do.
Yeah. And One Piece, what's funny about One Piece, obviously there's a lot of people in love with the show and the manga, the comic all behind it all. But the big thing that's happening with One Piece is cards, the card game. One Piece has become a collectible card game now. And people are going crazy for the One Piece cards. So I feel like One Piece relevancy is just gigantic right now. Do you feel that way? Because I know you play cards, Danny. You probably see the One Piece craziness.
Yeah, One Piece is taking over. It's even taking over popularity of Pokemon, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So it's a force to be reckoned with for sure. There's fans that love the cards. There's fans that have been fans of the OG comics. There's fans that came on board after they watched the Netflix show. So, then the anime, of course. So it spans a lot of places where people can become fans of this particular franchise.
Yeah. One Piece, it's One Piece merch also was always the stuff that just disappeared. Like at FanFest, it was gone. Like I don't even think it made it a week two. That merch was crazy. But yeah, I love the move. Waterworld's shows are always good. And I hope like fireworks and explosions, I hope all that's involved. They're going to have cool lighting. Waterworld's a great theater to do these kind of new events. Dungeons and Dragons coming back to FanFest. It's going to be the walkthrough again, but they're going to add to it. There's going to be, I don't know what kind of additions are going to be added to this, but Dungeons and Dragons is coming back for year 2. I'm excited. The year 1, we saw that gigantic Xanathar. I can't wait to see what they add to this. I would imagine they probably learned a lot of what worked and what didn't work. You know what I mean? With people walking through these things. So I'm curious how they kind of want to create more engagement with people, because that's what Dungeons and Dragons is. You're the story. You're literally creating the story.
I think the hard part during the walkthrough for me was following the story. It was kind of hard because like something was happening here that you needed to see, but like you couldn't see it. And then it only made sense when Xanatar was like talking, because you heard what the other guy was saying before to him. And like it was hard to catch some. And then like the dragon flying above you was saying stuff and like lighting you on fire, and it was a bunch of different things that was happening. So I feel like it was, for the average person that knew nothing about it coming in, it was hard to follow the story.
One thing I want to say, and I hope a Universal Creative is like watching. I heard this from a lot of people. I experienced it. The people having to talk on mics that were like stationary, and then sometimes they weren't even on mics at all. It was really hard, like how Danny's saying, to follow the storyline. I always wished that when they go into a room, the mics that are just around you, or gosh, I want to say stereos, but the speakers that are around us, I wish the voice would be coming out of that instead of like, it was so hard to hear these people lots of times throughout the thing. Did you feel that way for you?
Yeah, 100%. That's what I was trying to say. I couldn't hear
it. It was almost, if you weren't standing by the two characters kind of narrating through the rooms, you're like, I don't even know what the hell's going on. And for some people, they probably only did it once, and they probably walked out like, I don't even know what happened. I think hearing the people talk is like very pivotal to that experience. So if they could improve on that a lot, I think it would go a long way of like, oh, I get what's happening. Like, I understand. Like, what puzzle? Like, why are we doing puzzles? Like, what the hell? It was very hard to hear people in that experience. I hope they fix that. All right, let's move on. The other one is Super Nintendo World, because of course, Super Nintendo World is coming. Super Nintendo World is going to include vibrant, multicolored Yoshi celebration. So Yoshi is kind of the thing that's staying there. And I remember I heard that rumor. I brought that up a while back. We're just going to get more colors of Yoshi. One of the things that somebody mentioned, and I was like, gosh, you are right. Whatever happened to that one thing? And you know what that one thing was, Danny? The drone show. Whatever happened to the drone show in Super Nintendo World? Now that we're in year 2, why can't that be figured out? But how do you feel about more Yoshis coming to Nintendo? Are you happy, disappointed? It's whatever. How do you feel?
I mean, it was a huge hit last year. I mean, even just meeting regular Yoshi was a big hit. That was the highlight for us, you and me, when we were doing
I love
FanFest on that. That was super fun. You were like loving it when we made that last cut to see Yoshi.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. I'm happy he's coming back, and that it's part of an exclusive thing. So and also just being able to go into Super Nintendo World during an After Dark event like that was also nice. And not having to have a special ticket for it.
Yeah, because it was like a calm Super Nintendo World. Even though people were crazy for Yoshi's, that you could do the games and sometimes
the restaurant.
The restaurant. Yeah. I think it's great. I like that there's more Yoshis. Hopefully, now that there's more Yoshis, maybe some of these Yoshis just kind of stick around the rest of the year. That'd be really cool instead of just FanFest. But that's it for that one. It's just more Yoshis. I'm assuming more food, more merch. That'll all come together. All right, that is all the IPs that were announced. How do you feel about this announcement as a whole, Danny? How do you feel?
I feel like I'm happy with it. I know we're gonna get more IPs, right? That as we get um, closer to the event, like smaller IPs. I'm still hoping for K-pop Demon Hunters meet and greet if they can pull it off somehow. But I feel like this is a solid lineup. You know, the Waterworld show, the Scooby Doo experience, the Harry Potter walkthrough, the Dungeons and Dragons walkthrough. This is already a pretty good lineup that would make me want to get a ticket to go to the event. And I already know that the event is great because we did it last year, and I know that they can put on a good event. So I'm sold on it. Am I sold to get Express on it though, like I would be for Halloween Horror Nights? Not really. Nothing in this is like pushing me to do Express. I would just get a general ticket.
Yeah, that's a thing, right? Because they sell Express, they sell early entry, they sell a VIP version of FanFest. What is the big draw on that, right? Uh, we'll see. We have to see it all come to life, I guess. I have the fandom pass. I'm ecstatic about all these events or all these things coming to Universal. For me, I always look at it as Universal didn't do none of this 3 years ago, so I'm happy that all of this is happening. I know it's a lot of returning IP, but they're really improving on the IP. So I think everything is just getting upgraded. There is more announcements to come. I don't know how long they're going to take to announce these things, but hopefully it's soon. Hopefully it's soon. All right. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about that we haven't talked about, Danny? Like with just any of the theme parks?
Yeah, well, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about Knott's real quick. Because I know the Peanuts celebration that's starting soon, or is it started already?
No, I think it's next week. I think next
Oh,
week.
next week. Okay. But I thought it was kind of funny, interesting to bring up. If we go to Arnott's Adventure, um, they have the 2026 Seasons of Fun calendar. I know she posted this a while ago, but I just thought it was interesting. This year, Disneyland and Knott's will be kicking off 2 days apart. 2 days apart. Usually it's like a whole week or
For
more, or two even.
2 days apart for what?
Merry Farm
Oh,
and
Mary
and,
Farm.
and holidays at Disneyland.
Oh, November
Yeah, 'cause
20th.
holidays at Disneyland this year are late. I think they're November 18th, and Merry Farm is November 20th. So that's gonna be a busy week for you, Mondo.
I love it. I love it, man. As long as they're not on the exact same day, I don't care. Because then I could go to both. But I want to bring up this, Danny, because it was Knott's news. It kind of happened out of nowhere. They had the foxes. I can't remember their names, but they had the foxes, and they were right outside of
Are
Johnny
they weasels or
Rockets.
foxes?
I think they're foxes. They're right outside of Johnny Rockets, and with like a notion of like they're plotting something. Is Johnny Rockets finally going to change into something else? What do you think? Or is it going to be Johnny Rockets just, I don't know, boysenberry foods in there? What do you think?
I mean, I don't know. I would love to see if they're indicating like a Berry Tales themed restaurant. I mean, Mondo's been saying they should have character dining forever. So perfect
It's
place
coyotes.
to have it.
Moxie and Bronny. I'm not trying to be mean, but the Coyotes is not the character dining I would want. I'm just gonna revert to people want Snoopy. They want Charlie Brown. They want the Peanut Gang. That is the meet and or the character dining. I think the Knott's crowd would want. That's just my opinion.
Not the Moxie and the.
I'm not hating on the Moxies and the Brawnies. It's just give the people what they want. It's the Peanut Gang. It's just straight up. It's called Peanut Celebration. You know, I don't hear Coyote Celebration. There ain't no Coyote Celebration.
Fairy Tale Celebration.
I hate that ride. I loved it, but it's just been garbage maintenance, terrible execution. That ride is not aging. It's like I don't even want to ever go on it again. Like that's how I feel. That's how I feel. I think that is it, Danny. I don't really.
That is it. What are your what are your plans for this coming week? Like as far as your last thoughts, like what are you looking forward to covering on upcoming videos for this week? Like what's on the agenda?
I want the drifting Fast and Furious ride vehicles.
Yeah, why aren't they drifting anymore? Why are they testing without drifting?
I don't know, dude. And the thing that's happening right now with Fast and Furious is they'll test, like they'll send it through the track and they might not test again for like 4 hours. I don't know what's going on. Like my mind is like, is there delays? Is there issues that are happening behind the scene? Like what's going on?
It seems like it, right? Because the ride wasn't drifting the way it was supposed to.
Maybe they're having issues. That's the only thing I could think of. Is like maybe there's a setback. Because I would have thought the ride vehicles testing again would have been a constant, and then they're just trying to really figure out the drifting aspect of things. Not like send it every 4 hours. I don't know. Some weird stuff's happening. Who knows what the real truth is. The other thing, I saw somebody comment earlier, isn't Paint the Night returning this week, Danny? I could have sworn.
I don't know. I know we had Wondrous Journeys with fireworks successfully tonight.
Oh, finally?
So at least part of it. I don't know if I can hear it from where I'm at. So I heard fireworks for part of it, but I don't know if they lasted the whole time or if they were cut off in the middle.
Finally happened. I just Googled it. It says January 30th. So what is that? It's like 12 days. So
That's
2 Fridays.
2 Fridays with the same week as Peanut Celebration.
Damn. I guess I could do Peanut Celebration and then Paint the Night at night. I don't know. I'm not missing out on Peanut Celebration. I want to watch the band and all that stuff.
Get a meal plan.
Get 2 meal plans. You know, I'll be there for 4 hours. They probably have to test it so many times regularly before adding drift to the normal testing. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. I didn't have a real chance to see the testing today. Let me see. I'm trying to think if we've gone over everything that for the most important stuff. All right, last thing I want to bring up. I just think it's something fun to talk about. Since Disneyland is like listening to people, is there any way Aladdin comes back? What are your thoughts, Danny?
No. Yeah, the stage has been permanently changed to fit Frozen. And when we were in there not that long ago for the media event for Spectaculars in 2022, when they finally relaunched Nighttime Spectaculars after the park closure,
yeah,
it was still very much set up in the same video stage for Frozen. It just they were using it for the event that we were using in there. So there's no infrastructure in there for Aladdin anymore. So if they did do Aladdin, they'd have to spend a lot of money to put it back to the way it was, and they wouldn't do that just to eventually rip it out. Because the only way they would do it is like as a hurrah, like a one last hoorah to say goodbye to the Hyperion Theater, to like give the fans the show they wanted.
Yeah.
And maybe they could do like a different version of Aladdin using the infrastructure that's there now, but it couldn't be exactly the same as it was before.
Nah,
unless they spend
we
much
want
money.
the exact same, you know, we want the full shebang, Danny.
Yeah.
I'm just sad, Danny. This Aladdin show is literally God mode. I was thinking, since the Disney Cruise Line guy came as Disneyland president, that he would probably care about entertainment, because the cruise line, that's the big finale every day, is entertainment. And that kind of hasn't happened yet at Disneyland. All they've done is cut entertainment. Entertainment's gone. What's crazy on this post? This guy right here, he actually commented and said, "It's me. It's Dylan White." That's the genie. He is the genie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, man. Crazy. I love the genie. I wish it could come back. All right, Danny, closing thoughts, man. Let's fire it down.
Closing thoughts. I mean, for me, we talked about it in the last episode, but I'm just excited for all the projects coming out of Disneyland and the fact that we get to follow those. Mondo and I have been waiting for good construction at Disneyland again, and there's going to be so much happening. So I think I'm just excited to kind of see how that starts to unfold. What's the next thing we start to see? Do we see groundbreaking over at the parking structure? Do we see some on-stage walls finally kind of defining the space for Coco, so we can finally get an idea of like how it's going to impact our on-stage areas? That's what I'm most curious about. So I'm looking forward to all that coming up, and also to continuing to go back and try some of these foods, because there's so much we haven't tried yet still. I was telling Mondo I wanted to go back tomorrow and I wanted to do chilaquiles, but it's so early.
A lot of stuff doesn't come to life until the 23rd or something too, right? Yeah. New food at
like
Disney.
the burger that we were looking to try. So I'm excited for all that. And just looking forward to all the stuff that's coming soon in the theme parks. We're right around the corner, really only a couple months from Boysenberry Festival coming back. So there's just a lot of good things like coming up for theme parks. And
Lunar New Year, Peanut Celebration.
Lunar New Year, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff all about to happen. Sweetheart Nights, I think, kicks off too this week, right? I don't know. I'm not going, so I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, that thing sold out so fast. It's crazy.
Yeah, let's check that real quick. It's sold out?
I was wondering how this sold out so fast, man. I was talking to a coworker actually that said they only go to Disneyland every year on Sweethearts Night, and it's a tradition for him and his girlfriend, and they don't miss a single year. So as soon as tickets go on sale, they buy it. So it's like there's probably a lot of people that are like that.
I don't think I could even click Sweetheart Nights no more, Danny. It says the event is sold out. Dude. That's wild. That's wild.
I don't even think any of the other Disney After Dark events have sold out that fast, right?
Nah, this has to be. Well, Oogie Boogie used to sell out like that. The 70 Years of Magic is still available. Damn, I didn't know that was sold out. Look at that. You can't even click it. Wow. Damn, that's wild. And they have a lot of dates too. Sheesh. Right here, January 22nd. So what is that, Thursday? Thursday. That's going to be the first one. For Sweetheart Night. Wow. I didn't know that was sold out, dude. I can't wait for this one, though. All right. My closing thoughts. I can't wait to keep covering all the stuff happening at Universal. we're going to start seeing FanFest come to life, so that'll be exciting. The one thing that's like kind of not really a thing yet, but it will be soon, is those changes happening to Galaxy's Edge. New props, things being rethemed on the wall and whatever. Like, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff, I feel. Doc Ondar is having new antiquities or whatever. There's a lot of cool stuff that's going to come to Galaxy's Edge, and I really want to cover that stuff. So I might be at Disneyland a little bit more. And I want to be there for Paint the Night.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I was telling Peter that I was like, I feel like it would be a good, like a good way to cover it, especially on your channel, Mono, just having it, covering it as like a state of Galaxy's Edge, like right now. And like documenting Doc Ondar's like what it sells right now, what it looks like on the inside right now, what does Oga's look like right now, like the way it is in 2026, so that you can exactly compare what was changed when it reopened, like when the new Black Spire trading store or whatever opens in the Rise of the Resistance area, like or in the
I always just want to call it the original trilogy Galaxy's Edge, the OG.
Yeah, like just how it all changes. Like, no,
it's a big deal, man.
It's a big deal. Yeah. Like, menu could change. Like, they could add new props, having the music play. Like, even just like documenting what it's like. I mean, even now, Mondo, like, I didn't even think about when I was talking to Peter. It's like as soon as they start the music in April, it's going to be impossible to film a video in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, copyright galore everywhere.
Copyright galore everywhere. So, like, that's going to change a lot of things, too. Like, it's going to be hard to film inside Galaxy's Edge, at least doing vlogs anyway. So, it's worth documenting now the way it is, so you can kind of remember it as it was before, the new version of it just becomes the regular.
And I think these changes are going to start happening soon, like very soon.
Mm-hmm. I know they said April, but we're probably going to start to see little things happen,
I think like next week they start doing stuff. I just don't see them like waiting till March and then rushing the hell out of it till April. I don't think so. I just feel like they're going to get started quickly with whatever changes happen in Galaxy's Edge. I'm excited. A lot of stuff happening everywhere, man. But thank you, Danny, for another awesome live stream. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. If you haven't already, hit the like button. And that's going to be all for today's live. We are firing it down. The Cali Bay, just as Danny, are calling it a day. I'm the main host, Mondo.